What's up, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's me again. I'm back for another Schmoedown reaction. This one there's been a couple of problems with. I started watching it during the original premiere on YouTube. I watched it a couple minutes before it ended its official premiere, but then they took it down immediately while I was still recording the reaction. So I kind of watched the beginning of it, just the intros, before they took it down. I don't really remember too much of what happened, so I'm just going to react to it all over again. That being said, I did see the cutscene at the beginning of the match, which specifically addressed the champion, the team's match situation that happened at the live event that very same night. So I won't spoil it, obviously, because the match itself hadn't actually dropped on the YouTubes, so I'm gonna hold my silence on that one. But yeah, this one is between Paul Walter Hauser and Josh Horowitz, and obviously, as you can see, I'm representing the Stars, the Mercs. The Stars aren't even playing in this match, but yeah, I'm representing the quirky Mercs this time because they are my faction, and they're going to have a really a competitor that I really despise in order for me to not root for them to win. They have to have like Chan flu on their team, and luckily I don't think that's ever going to happen. But yeah, so the quirky Mercs, nothing against Paul Walter Hauser or the suspects, because I'm just, like I said, I'm a Mercs fan, so I gotta support the Mercs. Anyways, I will also be participating in this match, but don't expect me to get any of the questions right. So Paul Walter Hauser making his debut against Josh Horowitz making his singles debut. Here we go.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the movie Trivia Schmoedown. It is the singles division. I'm Christian Harloff, joined as always by Mark Baby Carrots Ellis. Mark, what a match we have here today. This is another battle of two rookies, but two big names in the movie Trivia Schmoedown, and this just shows you exactly what the offseason did here. When you have an introduction of characters like Chris Jericho, Brittany Young, Kevin Smith, it opens the doors of like, what are they doing? I know those guys. And enter both Josh Horowitz, who I've been a fan of for a very long time. You've seen him talking to, he's been on MTV for a long time. His interviews are fantastic. He's a funny dude. It's great to have him in the league. And then you couple that up with Paul Walter Hauser, who you know from Richard Jewell, Cobra Kai, Kingdom. And now they are here in the movie Trivia Schmoedown, and they compete against one another today.
That's right, Christian. One guy is threatening to win an Academy Award every time he steps on the big screen. The other has the Viacom triple threat of MTV, Comedy Central, and Paramount Plus, but only one's going to get the win here today. And as I say with all rookies, I just hope that whoever loses, if it turns out they're terrible at movie trivia, they have some sort of trade or craft to fall back on.
We're going to find out today, Mark, because Sam Levine, he's been known to make those big pulls, and he himself, a former teams champion, a former singles champion, and when Sam entered the league, he's like, he's just an actor. He's got that guy. What's he know about movies? And he turns out to be one of the greatest players we ever had. Look at what Kevin Smith is doing right now. So this could be the. I mean, look at what Josh did in teams. So we already know that we have a guy who is serious about this, what he wants to do. The question is Paul Walter Hauser. We know we know he's a big wrestling guy. We know that he. When I spoke to him on one-on-one, he he's got a love for film. Does he retain that information? We're going to find out today, and we're going to find out how we got here today. Nerd Chronic, take it away. If there's people that you know that might like the movie Trivia Schmoedown, who would it be? And somebody tagged this guy. Started following him. We started talking, and I started kind of deep diving into his love for wrestling. He knows what he's talking about.
Actors, we love our fellow actors, and this is a man who knows his movies. So we're going to talk plenty of shop when Paul Walter Hauser joins the usual suspects. Welcome aboard.
We had a rough one for my debut.
I think we learned a lot about Josh Horowitz today inside of this match. Is that this is a guy who's going to be able to play the game. So what I'm very curious now is how this match is going to play out with him and Paul Walter Hauser at the end of May.
Yeah, I'm proud of what we did today. I'm proud of what I did. I mean, like, yeah, that first round was tough for both of us. Yeah, well, this is the first of many matches. Hopefully, we'll improve.
It's the
onwards and upwards.
TKO exchange.
Josh, the Carpathian Horowitz
Nothing
makes his debut in
though.
singles today, and after that incredible showing in teams, I am very excited to see what he does today.
Still have something to prove. I think I acquitted myself well in the first go-round, but this one's all on me. It's all on my shoulders. And you know what? I'm excited. Paul Walter Hauser, I know this guy.
What needs to be said? The dude is a legitimate movie star, and he also happens to be one of the big guns.
What is your movie trivia skills like? Because to have you in a match would be incredible. Today we saw Jericho, we saw Smith do it. I feel like you would be pretty good. What do you think?
Paul Walter Hauser is a veritable encyclopedia, but he's out there making some of the best movies and TV shows in all the land, whereas Josh is studying them, he's preparing for them, he eats, breathes, and sleeps this stuff.
All right, sure, whatever. Coy's got Kevin Smith and, the pundits there. Big deal. The man has been in multiple Oscar-nominated films. Are you kidding me? You can see this man kicking ass on Netflix right now, okay?
To me, it's all about the challenger. I want to do it, but it's got to be somebody really good.
Don't doubt Paul Walter Hauser. I'm not taking this lightly. But don't doubt me either.
Paul, you do great work. I'm excited to see you play. I'm very excited you're in the lead. Josh
Spider-Cat.
is the only guy that might be able to beat you. That's about to happen. Get him, Josh.
Spider-Cat.
Well, did you expect anything else, Mark?
Well, Christian, the bottom line is this. You talked earlier in the show about the big shots that have come into the league and put it on notice. Let's look at the rookies that have come into the Schmoedown this season already. Regardless of fame or fanfare, these rookies can play with the best of them, and I have a feeling between Horowitz and Hauser, we're going to get two more on full display in their rookie debut in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Singles Division right now.
Are you ready to get going, my friend?
I believe one of these gentlemen and I do cryotherapy at the same place.
Oh, well, good for you. I'm glad that you wanted to bump shoulders that way.
I have
Cool.
several
Ladies and
questions.
gentlemen, it's time for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Introducing first, representing the usual suspects, making his Schmoedown debut. He is the Stingray, Paul Walter. He is here.
That was me flexing.
You did it. You flexed. You made it. And we are so excited to have you here. But we also know that you are not shy from letting your opponents know how you're feeling, how you're going to do. You see a guy like Kevin Smith, Chris Jericho come in here, and you feel you can hang and wreck some shop.
I mean, listen, Jericho knows plenty about Slapshot, and Kevin Smith, I'm sure, knows plenty about a movie like Barry Levinson's Diner. What I know is a little bit of everything. As an actor, you have to know a little bit about everything. So I think that's going to come into handy, sort of a Hollywood Jeopardy-minded assessment. You're going to see a lot from Stingray here today.
Paul, first of all, we appreciate you telling the MTV Cribs crew to relax until you're done filming this episode of the Schmoedown. Now, look, a lot of folks come in here and they're pretty cocky. You took it up a notch, and you actually said that one of two things is going to happen based on the outcome of this match. You care to enlighten the audience?
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate that. Today's sponsors are Whole Foods Apple Cider Vinegar and, of course, the Scotch whiskey brand Glenlivet. I will be taking a shot of one of these two liquids, but if I win, it's going to be the Scotch, and if I lose, which I don't think is going to happen, but if I lose to Joshy Horowitz, I'm going to be taking a double shot of raw apple cider vinegar.
That's totally fair. Now, you got your movie coming out here today on Disney Plus and in theaters, Cruella, and the question I have for you are, how you're not playing a very nice guy in that film. So are we gonna see a nice guy here today with Josh, or what are we gonna see?
I mean, the things I had to do to be fourth billing in a Disney film. I mean, this is why I drink, guys. I think, like Horace in the film Cruella, I'm kind of an endearing ne'er-do-well. So I kind of flirt between babyface and heel. We'll find out how which side prevails in this matchup against Josh Horowitz.
All right. Well, thank you. It's as we said, it's great to see you here. In just a moment, we will see you compete. And his opponent. Representing the Quirky Mercs, making his Schmoedown singles debut. He is the Carpathian Josh Horowitz. Josh Horowitz making it to the singles division. Josh, when we spoke in the offseason, man, you were curious about what the hell this thing was, how it was now, and the fact that you've kind of been thrown into it now. You played in teams, and now you've been studying and training. And is it a little crazier than you maybe thought it was going to be when you signed up for this nutty thing?
Deep regret, filled with horrible series of horrible life choices I've made, and this is the latest one. But I'm consistent. I'm nothing if not consistent. I'm excited to compete against the great Paul Walter Hauser. I'm sorry that we're just selling Cruella streams more than we're actually doing trivia today. I thought we were here to compete, but that's okay. People watch Paul's movie. That's fine. I'm just here to win.
That's fair.
Okay.
You're here to win, Josh. And the question is thus: how have you been preparing, studying, training, not just to beat Paul Walter Hauser, but to be one of the all-time greats, to be on the Mount Rushmore of the movie trivia Schmoedown?
Great question. Excellent question. I mean, Paul is chugging apple cider vinegar. I'm drinking Expo Whiteboard Care, which
don't try that at home, kids.
No, not recommended. It doesn't taste good, but it makes me strong. Fills me with movie knowledge. I was built for this. This is my destiny, to publicly humiliate myself in front of millions of people. You guys get millions of viewers, right?
Millions. Billions.
Yeah, sure.
Do you any words for your opponent before we bring him back in here?
Just get that apple cider vinegar ready, because is that what he's drinking if he's winning or losing? I don't know. Whatever. Losing. Okay, yeah. Then get it ready, because you are going down. I can't do it. I'm not good at the trash talk. I just can't do the trash talk. It's just not in me.
I don't know, Justin.
You are going down. Yeah, no. See?
Yeah, maybe I agree with you. Tell us the rules of round number one, Mark.
Well, Christian, based on how our competitors hydrate, these rules brought to you by airplane glue. Don't smell it, kids. Round number one is 8 questions from 8 different corners of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, know-how. Each question's worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing. At least there isn't in round number one. Either Christian or myself will ask the question. As soon as we're done, you have 15 seconds to not only think of the correct answer, but then write it down on whatever writing surface you have available with whatever writing utensil you prefer. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show what you wrote to your camera at the same time you verbalize your attempt into your microphone. Each competitor has 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. You'll meet him later on. If you're not sure you heard a question right, you want to buy yourself another 15 seconds, use a JTE rule. That's how we say repeat. Or you can also just say, please repeat the question. You each have 1 challenge you may utilize at any point throughout the 3-round match. Should a ruling be fishy to you, you don't like the way some answer was levied by your opponent, you may use a challenge. We'll bring your manager in. You may delineate to your heart's content. We'll hear our arguments, and then your manager will ultimately confirm and ratify that said challenge is taking place. Christian, I see nothing but intensity. It's like these 2 combatants are boxers sizing each other up moments before the bell.
All right, so I asked Josh, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Paul, are you ready?
Bring it on, Tim Blake Nelson.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown. Round number one.
I understood that
Question
reference.
number one. We're going to start in the realm of horror/thriller. Here is the question. What 1984 horror comedy features performances from Judge Reinhold, Dick Miller, and Phoebe Cates?
Horror comedy?
Hauser going with the classic Mead Notebook I enjoyed in 6th grade. Horowitz, we have yet to see his writing surface.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. Got to put pens down there.
I got
and
one
we
answer,
start
it's
with
not
Josh.
84.
Gremlins.
Yes, it is Gremlins. Paul.
Oh, yeah.
I put Fast Times. I knew it wasn't it, but I put that.
All right, so Josh with the start here, 1-0 as we get to the second question.
That?
All right,
I
this is in
love
the
that
category
movie.
of the 1990s, and more specifically, movies that were released
alive
during
for
that
most of
decade.
them.
The question, for 1 point, what 1990s comedy features supporting performances by Allison Hannigan, Shannon Elizabeth, and Thomas Ian Nicholas?
Thomas Ian Nichols, who
I
is
wasn't
a
planning on
Schmoedown
getting any
competitor.
points today,
Yeah,
right?
friend of the show, Horowitz up 1-0. But Fast Times is a pretty good Phoebe Cates movie.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. And we start with Paul.
American Pie.
Yes, sir. And Josh.
American Pie.
It is 2-1 in favor of Horowitz as we get to question number 3. And that would be in the realm of directors. Who was behind the lens for the films Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, and 2004's Hellboy?
Fine, it's something I know.
All right, so when people refer to someone directing a movie, do you prefer behind the lens or the word helmed?
Behind the lens. So much better.
I like helm.
Screw helm. 5, 4,
Technically
3,
speaking, the one behind
2,
the lens is the cinematographer.
1. Pens
not the
down, hands up,
director, but
please.
whatever.
And Josh.
The visionary.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, sir. And Paul.
The same, but spelled poorly.
Also known as
Except-
Guillermo del Toro.
And we now get 3-2. 3-2 as we get to our next question.
You think you spelled it poorly. Wait till you meet JTE. Your next question is in the category of action adventure movies. And for a point, Liam Neeson must save his daughter after being kidnapped in what 2008 action film?
2008 was a pretty good year for the Schmoes.
Pretty good year for Christian Harloff, I believe.
It's a good thing
Not
they
really.
said his
No, it was
daughter,
2 years after
and
a
not
good year.
his wife.
5. About a year.
'Cause I'm
4,
pretty sure his wife was
3,
the second one.
2, 1. And pens down, hands up, please. And Paul.
I'm quite
Taken.
taken with this film.
Taken.
You got it. And Josh.
I'm taken with my competitor. Taken.
There it is. All right. So now we see 4-3. Horowitz up by 1 as we get to our next question. This is now question 5.
That's right.
In the 2000s, DMX played Anthony Fate alongside which martial artist in the role of Sue Duncan in the 2003 action film Cradle to the Grave?
The late
Well, I
great
got 2 points.
DMX,
I'm
our
happy
buddy
with it.
Andrew Freed reported DMX performed on a plane 2 songs into the plane PA on a flight back from Phoenix. True story.
For him, I'm not surprised. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Josh.
Unsure, but I'm going to go with Jet Li.
That is correct. And Paul.
Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cops I break bread with, I'll break who you send to me. DMX played
No.
opposite Jet Li.
Well done. 5-4. This now is
you
a
guys have
battle
a
here,
better
Mark, as both
writing
competitors just within
surface.
1 as we get to our question. This is question 6.
That's right. Could give these competitors a case of the giggles because
Is
it's
it
comedy. Hey, I'll take a smile at this point. For a point, what comedian stars as an over-the-top television evangelist who finds a way to turn television home shopping into a religious experience in the 1998 film Holy Man? I had a great time headlining the La Jolla Comedy Store a couple weeks ago. Number one question I got,
What's
where is Christian Harloff?
That's not true. 5, 4,
May 7th through 9th.
2, 1. Pens down, please. And Paul.
Don't think I saw it, but I'm pretty sure it was Eddie Murphy.
You're pretty right. And Josh.
His finest hour, Eddie Murphy.
6-5. 6-5 as we get to the next question, Mark. This is question 7. Animated. Which comedian voices Tow Mater in the Cars franchise?
Christian, don't look now, but these two famous people, pretty good at movie trivia, as it turns out.
Not bad. This is a very entertaining match so far, and they both locked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Josh.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Owen Wilson?
That is incorrect. Paul,
He's Lightning McQueen.
Owen Wilson was Lightning McQueen. Nader,
Said it.
voiced by Larry the Cable Guy.
and Paul
Larry the Cable
Hauser
Guy.
ties it up. Ties it up 6-6 as we get to the next question. This is the final question in this round. This is question 8, Mark.
And I don't care what anyone says, I still find Dan hilarious. Your question for a point is in the category of war films. And the question, who plays Colonel Walter E. Kurtz, who has apparently gone insane and is waging a brutal guerrilla war without permission in the film Apocalypse Now?
Oh, wait. Dang it.
So Josh was carrying that lead for most of it. Paul comes back, and
No,
the last
I know
moment, we
this.
see
Wait a
ourselves tied
minute.
up. What's it going to be
That's
going into round
Superman's
2?
dad.
About to find out in 5, 4,
Oh.
3, 2, 1,
blackout.
and we start with the Stingray.
Some people call him the greatest actor of all time. I love him. I don't agree, but he's brilliant. Marlon Brando.
That is correct.
Dang it!
And Josh.
What
That's
is
a
with
bug.
this instant
Marlon Brando.
blackout?
And 7-7. What a battle it is. The end of round number 1. Josh Horowitz with 7. Paul Walter Hauser with 7. And now we move into round number 2. Mark, what are the rules?
Round number 2. So we almost saw 2 perfect round number 1s. We now veer into round 2, which is the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and ultimately justice. We, of course, don't quite have the budget to send you a physical wheel, so you'll be spinning it virtually with your mind. Once you get her done, you are going to have 4 questions in whatever realm the wheel lands on. Each question's worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, gentlemen, stealing is available in round number 2. So if you miss the question, your opponent can then attempt an answer to gain the same amount of points. There's another option. We ask you a question, you're not sure of the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which we are told is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question recedes to 1. So 7-7 ball game here, Christian, because Josh Horowitz was introduced second. He is going to break the tie. And now, Mr. Horowitz, the question goes to you. Would you like to spin the wheel first and have your questions, or would like you to defer to your non-sleeved opponent?
I will defer
Sleeve the-
to the great Paul Walter Hauser to spin first.
All right. So with that, we're going to remove Josh and bring in Sam. Sam, you got 60 seconds starting now.
Dude, welcome to the big show. You're crushing it.
Thanks,
Crushing it.
man. Sorry
Oh, my
about
God.
Gremlins. Really sorry about Gremlins.
No apologies
I'm sorry about
whatsoever.
Gremlins.
You put up a very valiant guest there. You knew Reinhold and Cates were in it. What more can I ask for from you? I got to tell you, I really loved you in that Richard Jewell movie. I loved you in iRobot. I mean, I, Tanya. I get those mixed up all the time.
No, they're the same.
I am Tanya.
They are the same movie. That's what people are tricky. But yeah, like what you said before, as an actor, you got to know a little bit about every movie.
A little bit about everything: occupations, ideologies, and in this case, filmmakers and character actors and release dates. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. And you knew Larry the Cable Guy, and that means a lot to me. So
Well,
let's get it
listen. Let's take it to the next level. On this note, to quote iRobot, Alan Tudyk, I did not murder him, but I will murder Josh Horowitz in this round. Here we go, baby.
I mean,
I
that's
don't think
what
that
it's
was
all
the
about
exact
here.
quote.
And we see the wheel. It is a spinning, and all is on the board here.
All right.
I'm very curious. I have an idea of what I think that he's looking for.
Oh, no. Ooh.
I think
Oh, boy, were we close there.
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. You got 60
Viola,
seconds to decide,
nicknamed
starting
Davis.
now. 60 seconds.
All right, man. We talked about this wheel, so it's up to you if we want to stick with Viola Davis or we spin again, take our chances. Could land on Viola Davis again. Could land on another category when we like more, when we like less. How do you feel?
I gotta say, Viola Davis is not really one of my choices for what I submitted, but I feel like I know her career well enough to partake in a round with her. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna try that.
I love it, man. Let's do it. Viola Davis.
All right, here we go. So, Paul, you're going to get 4 questions. Viola Davis, here is the first one. Viola Davis was nominated for her first acting Oscar for which film?
Reminder to both competitors, you don't have to write this one, Paul. You can just answer it outright. You can also ask for multiple choice if you're not sure.
It's definitely the 2008 film Doubt.
That is right, for 2 points. Correct. All right, here is the second one.
I guess
Viola Davis plays Dalia Shiraz, who is the best friend of Julia Roberts' character in which film?
I believe that was Eat, Pray, Love.
That is correct, for 2 more points.
Woo!
Here is the third.
Okay.
Viola Davis has been directed by Tyler Perry in one film starring his character Medea. Which film was this?
What are my options here? Because I definitely don't know this one.
You can go to multiple choice if you want. It goes down to 1 point if you choose that.
Can he steal if I do multiple choice?
Yes. 5, 4, 3.
I'm going to say multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. Here it is. Is it A, Medea's Witness Protection, B, A Medea Christmas, C, Medea on the Run, or D, Medea Goes to Jail?
Medea's a pretty busy woman, isn't she?
God, I hope this is a favor for Tyler. I'm going to go. I don't know. I'm just going to say jail because that was in my head, not because I know it's right.
Medea Goes to Jail is correct for 1 point.
Wow.
Big. All right, so here is your last question. Here it is. Okay. Here it is. Viola Davis plays Major Gwen Anderson that prepares her battle school students for a possible alien invasion. In which film?
Oh, WTF.
My thoughts exactly.
5.
I'm going to
4.
say the Tetris movie.
I got to go multiple
which hasn't
choice again.
even
I
come
really don't
out
know
yet.
that off the top of my head.
Is it A, Cowboys and Aliens, B, Ender's Game, C, Battleship, D, John Carter?
Ender's Game.
Yeah, no, she did take part in the Gavin Hood film adapted from the novel Ender's Game.
That is correct for 1 more point. So,
Okay.
good round for Paul Walter. Hauser finds himself by 6 now,
Think of this for multiple
13-7,
choice.
13-7,
Where the hell is my
as we
marker
will now
again?
remove Paul and bring in Coy.
Where
All right,
is
Coy,
it?
60
There
seconds,
it is.
starting now.
Incredible first round. I would much rather lose to the bottom half of Pixar's filmography than Gremlins, personally, as far as where we're at. Now, the way I see it is we're going into this tied up. We don't know what our points are going to be, so that 13-7 doesn't quite matter. Because you're about to get 8 points, take the lead back. We know
me a
we're
while
one
to
on the
get
wheel.
there.
We know we don't. But also, tactic-wise, keep in mind, if there's something you outright don't know, drop it down, because then you can only steal 1. You're not going to need that information, but you've got it. So, multiple choice if we need it. You've got all 3 your JTEs. Where's your headspace, man? How you vibing?
I'm feeling good. I feel like the first round, Wire the Cable guy tripped me up, but otherwise, all good. We were neck and neck, and pretty good about the wheel. I feel pretty good about what's left there. A lot of stuff there that I can dominate, so hopefully we'll get a good spin. All good.
You've done a really great job of processing the time, like we talked about with planking. You know how much time you have. You're using it well. Keep doing that in this next round. You got this. Get those gains, man. Let's do this.
So now, Josh, it is his turn, and here's the spin.
Most of this wheel is ours. I feel very confident, especially after that first round. That was all over the place, and this is much more our wheel. House.
Did I hear Coy and Josh can hold a plank for over a minute? Wow.
Romance.
Romance.
60 seconds to decide, starting now.
Romance. Could go either way here. I feel like I'm inclined to take it. Coy, what do you think? Do you think
My instinct is that it's very broad, which could help us, but also the broadness could hurt us. There are wheel slices I think are more in our upper half of goal, but if you
let's spin it down.
I think we spin it again.
Let's do it.
Good choice.
Worst case, we get romance again. Best case, we get one of the things we have a specificity about.
Coy's Andrew really coming into his own here as a manager. When you come into the second, you see him working with all these champions and everything too. You see the managing skill there by Coy Andrew.
Yeah, his internet works too.
It does, and it lands on Ed Harris. So that's what's going to be here. Ed Harris films. All right. So now, Josh, you chose Ed Harris films. Somewhere PLD is smiling, and now we are going to get 4 questions in the realm of Ed Harris films.
That's right. In honor of Paul Denuzzo, I'm now going to proctor 4 questions in the wild, wacky, wonderful world of Ed Harris. He usually doesn't have that much hair, but he's great. Josh, like I told Paul, if you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. Just make sure you get that request in within that 15-second time window.
Cool.
And question number 1 of 4 for 2 points. Ed Harris plays the character Kristoff in what 1990s film that stars Jim Carrey?
The Truman Show.
And Horowitz is off and running with the correct answer in round number 2. He cuts Hauser's lead to 4 to cut it all the way down to 2. This next question. Which actress won an Oscar for the film Pollock, which Ed Harris starred in and directed?
That would be Marsha Gay Harden.
Christian, we got us a ball game now. It is just a 2-point difference between Paul Walter Hauser and Josh Horowitz. We could be tied after this penultimate question in the world of Ed Harris. Which Oscar-winning actor played the villainous rancher Randall Bragg in the Western Appaloosa, which Ed Harris directed?
Jeremy Irons.
We are tied, and now here's where we stand. One more question in round number 2 going to Josh Horowitz. If he hits it, he's going to have a 2-point lead, or if he goes to multiple choice, at least a 1-point lead going into round number 3. If he misses, Hauser will have an opportunity to steal the question in question.
They're mostly tied.
World of Ed Harris. Josh, Ed Harris played which famous real-life astronaut in the 1983 film The Right Stuff?
John Glenn.
Fun fact about him, he went to outer space. That is 2 points, and now it's a 2-point lead for Horowitz as we enter round number 3.
Man, that was a great round there for both guys. And Josh Horowitz really coming to play with the Ed Harris category. So now we get to round number 3. Mark, what are the rules of round number 3?
The rules of round number 3. Well, let's first declare round number 3 what it is. This is the round that will determine the match. Unless we go to sudden death overtime where Christian and I make up questions on the fly. Hopefully we don't get there. Maybe we do. What we need from each competitor is 3 numbers right now. These numbers may range from 1 to 20. You may not pick the same 3 integers as your opponent because each one corresponds to a unique category of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, mystery. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next question is worth 3 points. Your final question, should we make it that bar, is worth 5 big points. There is no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round number 3. Keep in mind, competitors, you have the usages of all your repeats, your JTE rules, and your challenges. I'll be asking the 3 questions to each competitor. Christian, we're now going to get those numbers first. Because Horowitz has a 2-point lead, he has the right to give us his 3 lucky numerals first. So, Josh, from 1 to 20, what feels lucky?
Let's go with 16, 3, and 17.
16, 3, and 17 for the Carpathian, and 4, the Stingray.
I'll go with 4, 7, and 11.
Coy, 60 seconds.
7-11!
A near perfect first round, a spotless second round, no dropping to multiple choice, flawless victory. I'm so impressed, man.
Flawless victory!
Who knew that I knew Ed Harris as well as I did? I'm feeling good. I mean, yeah, we're in a good way. This is a good position to be in. I mean, he's given it his all. He's right there with me, so I expected nothing less. I think it's going to go down to the end, and may the best man win. I think, it's all good.
I think that was an important lesson learned moment because I saw you concerned with Ed Harris. That wasn't one we talked about as a pro. I saw you be like, oh no, romance maybe, but then you still navigated. So if you hear a category in this next round that also feels like, you got this, man. Like you just navigated out of something that wasn't necessarily our goal. This is ours. And yeah, he played incredible, but you're playing like Josh Horowitz.
Whatever that means. Yeah, I'm feeling good. No, this so far so good. Let's finish strong. Let's do it.
60 seconds starting now.
There he is. Dude, listen to me. I don't care what they just talked about. This game is far from over. This is 2 points. That is one correct question. That is your easiest question in this last round, and it's a tie game, okay? And that 3-point question and that 5-point question, brother, those can be deep. So this game is not over.
That's great
He's
advice
going to have to
from
hit
former
all of
champion.
those to be competitive with you. So what I want you to do right now is just focus. They're gonna ask you some questions. You take all the time you need. You got all your repeats, 3 of them. Okay, you use them if you need them. No multiple choice, so don't be tripped up by that. Just get in your headspace, answer some questions. I know you can do it.
Hey, Coy, why don't you just lay the flowers at my gravestone? I heard what you said to Josh, and let's just say the game isn't over, bud. The game isn't over.
It's just sad to see that kind of aggression from a good man, from a peaceful man, a desperate man.
You brought the flip flopping out of me.
Good to
You're bringing it out of me.
All right, so now our competitors are here. We're going to start with Paul Walter Hauser, Mark, who is trying to avoid the TKO here, and he will, of course, tie this game up if he hits his 2-pointer to start.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Hauser, who I believe is firmly in Horowitz's head, and Horowitz is firmly in Hauser's head at this point, selected number 4. And Paul, that number corresponds to the category of directors. And your question for 2 points and the tie. Who directed the films Adventures in Babysitting and Mrs. Doubtfire?
Adventures in Babysitting and Mrs. Doubtfire. I believe
4,
that was
3,
Chris
2.
Columbus.
He also sailed the ocean blue once upon a time. That is correct. We got a tie ball game, Christian.
We are tied up, and Hauser
And
avoids
he
the
also
TKO there, and now we
discovered Harry
run
Potter at
to
one point.
Horowitz, who now, Mark, he chose category
And was
16
left
for
home
his.
I can go on,
question?
please.
That's right. He selected
Somebody stop
16, and Joe Montana's legendary number corresponds to the world of fantasy science fiction, Josh.
Fantasy Scaffy.
And for 2 points. And to regain a 2-point lead
better
over your
with this
opponent. What 1996 film features supporting performances from Mary McDonnell, Vivica A. Fox, Judd Hirsch, and Mae Whitman?
That would be Independence Day.
Tiny little independent film, and that is correct.
I
It's
was
a
gonna go with
2-point lead
Independence
once again
Day.
for Horowitz. Christian, we pinball back to Hauser.
What a match it is so far as we find ourselves 17-15. Hauser now has an opportunity to take the lead once again here, or take his first lead here if should he hit his 3-pointer. And that's category 7, Mark. Category 7.
That's right. It's Joe Theismann's epic number, and now it belongs to Paul Walter Hauser, and more accurately, the category of movie quotes. These are quotes in talking pictures. And for 3 points, and for Hauser to grab the lead alone, the famously ad-libbed line, I'm walking here, is from what 1969 movie?
Midnight Cowboy.
It was ad-libbed, and that is the correct movie. It is a new leader in the clubhouse, at least for the moment. It's a 1-point lead for Hauser, which means we go back to Josh Horowitz.
That's right. So Josh Horowitz now has category 3 in order to take yet another lead and take his lead to 20 should he hit this. This is, again, Mark, this is category 3.
You say 3, I say Mark Mosley's number, and it corresponds to biopics. These are picks about famous people who actually lived, we believe. And your question for 3 points to regain the lead. What Hollywood screen legend played real-life characters such as Charles Lindbergh, Glenn Miller, and Wyatt Earp?
I'm gonna guess Jeff Bridges.
5.
I
Repeat
think
the
he
question.
played Wyatt Earp at one
First
point.
one.
Wise use of the repeat there. You have 2 JT rules remaining. Your question is in the category of biopics, and it is, what Hollywood screen legend played real-life characters such as Charles Lindbergh, Glenn Miller, and Wyatt Earp?
Jimmy Stewart.
That is correct. And once again, Horowitz snags a 2-point lead. It goes back to Hauser for a question he's got to have.
So where we stand at the moment, where Josh Horowitz takes another lead here, 2018. Paul Walter Hauser has his 5. If he hits it, then he forces Josh Horowitz to hit his 5 in order to win. However, if he misses this question, then Josh Horowitz and the Mercs will pick up the 2 points. All right, Mark. So Paul chose category 11. Category 11.
That's right. And Mark Rippon's number corresponds to a category. You're trying to figure out life. You're trying to decipher what it all means. You might put on a coming-of-age movie. And the question, for 5 points, for the lead, and to force Horowitz to hit his 5-pointer. Who plays Haley Steinfeld's brother in the movie Edge of 17?
I believe his name is Blake Jenner.
That is
You
correct.
believe.
He hits the 5-point question. What a pull there by Paul Walter Hauser, 23-20. Who would have thought we got such a scrap here? 23-20, as now Horowitz has to hit his 5. If he hits the 5, he wins the game. However, if he misses, then Paul Walter Hauser will take the victory. Mark, Josh chose category 17.
It is a character, too. Doug Williams' number. And right now, Christian, that corresponds to the fun world of romantic comedies, or as I invented, rom-coms.
Yeah, you invented it. Right.
And the question, for 5 points, and more importantly, the win. Rosamund Pike plays Jane, Keira Knightley's sister, in what 2005 film?
Five, four.
Repeat the question, please.
Second one.
All right, you have one more repeat remaining. The question, Rosamund Pike plays Jane, Keira Knightley's sister, in what 2005 film?
He's thinking. I feel like he's got an answer forming in his head.
Pride and Prejudice.
And
Hey,
your winner, the Companion, Josh Horowitz! What a battle between Horowitz and Hauser. Holy crap, what a battle that was. Look at that. Look at the happy Merc there. Look at Koijandru.
Almost a perfect
is
shade.
for real. Unbelievable what we have seen here today. What a battle. And by Paul Walter Hauser putting up the scrap. And this was much just impressive, guys. So you're going to be talking to Jen Sturger in just a moment. Congratulations, Josh, and to Koijandru and the Mercs. That was like a battle between two pros who've been doing this forever. Back and forth they go. I mean, Paul got everything right in the second, had to go to multiple choice. Josh Horowitz, though, I mean, this guy's for real. This guy is for real.
Christian, the math didn't work out to where we could have had sudden death, and I think that we all are kind of fortunate because these guys seem like they could have gone toe-to-toe all night, and I have teenage kids to pick up from school, and so you saw Koijandru celebrating appropriately so the way that Paul Walter Hauser wanted to celebrate. Unfortunately, he's going to be ingesting a slightly different tasting substance. But the bottom line is this. Hauser and Horowitz belong in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. They proved that they can compete not just as fun people that we've seen on television and movies, but as folks who know a hell of a lot about trivia in the realm of talking motion pictures.
Don't they, man? Holy, I mean, like you and I talked about, we were very excited to have both these guys, but I didn't know they were going to do that. I mean, I had no clue. I said, okay, this will be a fun match. We'll see. Maybe they'll enjoy it. They want to come back. But those are like two serious competitors who are just like scrapping. I can't wait to see what Jen's going to talk to Josh and Coy about. She's standing by right now. Jen Sturger is with Josh Horowitz and Coy Jandreau. Jen?
Coy, it's got to feel pretty good. The Mercs are picking up some steam.
I just cannot. I knew we were going to do well today. I had a lot of faith in Josh. Josh was very early in my draft because I don't watch a lot of entertainment journalists because it feels weird to be like, oh, what are they doing? I'm not doing. But Josh is one of the few people that I see as both entertaining and having integrity in this field. And I've always been impressed with his work. And I was like, if this guy is half as good at retaining stuff as he is at being inventive on the fly, we're in for a golden standard of Schmo. And he just played like that for 3 rounds.
Josh, we saw you play obviously in teams, but how does it feel to play in singles and to make this kind of strong presence for your debut?
I mean, it feels amazing and a great relief. I mean, Coy's shown so much confidence in me from the start, and that's meant the world for somebody just getting started in this world. I couldn't have faced a more competitive, great competitor than Paul, who's just a good guy and just pushed me to the limit and brought out the best in me. So props to him. And it could have gone either way in the end. And, today was our day. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, tell me how you were feeling in that last round where you guys are essentially just sitting there in the middle of the ring exchanging blows at that point,
Yeah, I was waiting for him to make like a misstep. Like, I'm like, he's due. Come on, cut me a little slack, give me a little breathing room. But he didn't. So, again, luckily, the questions bounced our way, and we didn't miss in the end. It was a good match.
So talk to me a little bit about the one brain fart we had this entire match, and that was the Larry the Cable Guy thing, right?
Right, yeah. So, Cars, I guess I'm not as well-versed in as some other things. But
from the movie.
I don't even know if you asked me that 10 more times, if I would get it right. That's just one of those things I just wasn't in my brain. So, luckily, it was early on. It was 1 point, and in the end, it didn't change the match. So, yeah.
And from my standpoint, I got to say, your percentage accuracy, incredible, and the fact that you were able to get something wrong, have that not affect you. A lot of players, especially in their first match, you slip and it causes a stumble. It causes a roadblock. That never happens. So if we're going to miss tater salad, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you feel the pressure when you're in there. I mean, I've done a lot of this kind of thing in different respects, but, once you're in the middle of a match, you got to zone in. You got to just focus. And, like I said, Paul just almost didn't miss a beat. So he kept me focused in a way. So
absolutely. Yeah. Once your opponent sees there's a weakness there, it's like sometimes they can really capitalize on that. So it was great that you're able to rebound so quickly, So Coy, Josh is 1-0 now. This could be one of the big steals in the draft for you. Going after anyone next by chance?
I was pretty confident in how this went down. There are some other competitors on the docket that I've looked at and been like, that'd be an interesting choice, because Josh isn't just good. He's not just good at the trivia, he's good at the gameplay. So there's people I want to test in different ways, the different tactics, different ways they play. But I will say, before we set up his next match, I want to commend Paul Walter Hauser, because that was not what anyone would expect out of 2 rookies. That wasn't what anyone would expect about these celebrity pulls. And as someone that drafted Kevin Smith in free agency, I got nothing but crap. Everybody was like, oh, it's a celebrity pull. They're not actually going to. Kevin's crushing for a reason, and Paul's the same thing. Paul is a force to be reckoned with. That was not a easy win. So my first one was for our win. This next shot is for Paul.
Oh, I'm sure he'll appreciate that, considering what he could. Yes, please don't get sick on this stream.
I've got to go for a run after this.
Oh my God. God bless your neighborhood. Anyways, congratulations on a wonderful debut and another win for the Mercs.
Josh, great work, man. I'm so impressed.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Jen said it. I mean, we found 2 new movie trivia Schmoedown stars today because obviously see what Josh Horowitz did with, he only missed that one question. He would have been perfect throughout. And then Paul Walter Hauser, who it looked, okay, he missed that one in the first round, but then he just kept fighting back. And then even in multiple choice with Paul, he took his time, he thought about it, and he clearly had the knowledge. So with this reminds me almost of what happened, Mark, when we saw Brendan Meyer went up against Paul Oyama. It's like no one really lost today, because it's like, okay, the Schmoedown wins here because we have 2 guys who obviously know their stuff, and who doesn't want to see both these guys like tomorrow?
Early in your career, a moral victory almost counts as a full-on win because it's watching a butterfly emerge from a cocoon. And just to be clear about this, Ron White is Tater Salad, and then Larry the Cable Guy, also in the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. The fact that special didn't influence the Corky Mercs as much as it did me, when notwithstanding, I still feel like Horowitz is going to be someone that you could put up against anybody in this division right now, and he could give them a show. The same could be said for Paul Walter Hauser, because I reiterate what the opposing manager, Coy Jandreau, had to say. He stepped onto the playing field and instantly looked like a seasoned veteran. We're going to have both these fellows around for a long time.
Well, we are going to hear from the Stingray and Sam Levine, who are standing by with Jen Sturger right now. Jen.
Oh, just the look on his face, knowing what he's got to do. Paul, you were so close. You were so close. Why you got to do this, man?
This double shot of apple cider vinegar goes out to Coy and the team at Quirky Mercs, and of course the man who bested me, who I am a fan of, Josh Horowitz.
Please don't comment on this.
Here goes.
Now, while he's doing this, I'd like to point out there are a lot of health benefits to apple cider vinegar shots. So, if nothing else, he's just going to be. Oh God! Oh God!
Shirt's coming off.
Was that a hot toddy apple cider vinegar?
Shirt's coming off. You're welcome, by the way.
Thank you so much. It's everything I hoped for and more. Is this Tom? Is this secretly Gucci? Am I being punked right now? Oh my God! But Sam, you still have to feel pretty great about the way Paul played today. All things, what they are.
I am
shirtless,
so proud of this
everything.
Man. Look, he missed one question the whole match. One question, which I'm happy to say did not decide the match. That Gremlins question, so no points off there. I mean, look, sometimes you get the good luck, and sometimes you get the bad luck. And he did everything he could do. He did everything right today. He just got the bad luck. That's all.
Thank you for guiding me through my first match. I hope there's many, many more. And I hope I can bring other people from my field of work and occupation into the community of Schmoedown, because it's a ton of fun. It's very easy. You just got to know what you love. And if you love movies, even like the fact that like when the Tyler Perry question came up, it's like, I've never seen a Tyler Perry movie, but I just kind of knew it was the jail one. I don't know. It was there. But
it's the remake of Ernest Goes to Jail. Medea Goes to Jail.
Which we all love.
Yeah, we all love that.
I do have Ernest's name, Varney, right here on my arm. Oh. That's Martin Short, Daniel Stern, Chris Farley, Jim Varney, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams. Maybe I'll get one of these. This interview
honestly wouldn't have gone this well if you were wearing sleeves still. So thank you.
There you go.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun, and I'm embarrassed that I couldn't pull out the win, but next time. I hope there's a next time.
So, Paul, you saw this game first through Kevin Smith and Jericho, right? So, have you caught the bug now? Like, are you coming back? I've got to assume so.
So long as you'll have me. I would love to return, so long as I can pull out a W for Sam Levine next time. I wanna show up and get it right.
I appreciate that. I never ever ask my players for W's. All I ask is that they play their very best and you, sir, brought absolutely your A-level game, and that's all I'll ever ask you, dude. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
See, I'm pretty happy with this. You know, they mentioned Paulo
this
Yama and, like, versus Meyer, and I feel like, did you get those same
and
vibes?
visual
You've seen a
success
lot of
this
play
season.
here in this league. So.
I certainly have, and I very much
Actually,
got those vibes between what Horowitz and Paul did here today. There were so many right answers. There were so many great deep pulls. I am duly impressed with both guys. Hats off to Horowitz. He played a sensational game, and so did Paul. I mean, nobody disappointed here today. Nobody showed up and underperformed. Both of these guys blew me out of the water. I know the fans are going to be impressed, and I know everybody's going to want to see both of these guys play again very soon.
I'm gonna go drown my sorrows and watch Gremlins. Apparently, I have some work.
Better
to
than
do.
Liz. Better
It's
than
a pretty
long as
good
it's
movie. I
this
think you like it.
season.
Not in apple cider vinegar. I think
But
you'll
then
be
again, they
okay.
played more matches. So
Take
it
one
doesn't
for me,
matter.
though. I hear, like I said, great health benefits.
You look pretty healthy. I think you're okay. You can go drink. I'm gonna go find a treadmill. But thank you.
God. Oh, you have such a lovely personality. I can't wait to see more of you in the league. It's going to be a lot of fun for all of us.
There's
He's a
more
beautiful man.
where this
Flex
came
on him.
from.
Go
gang.
ahead, flex on
More
him.
where this came from. Schmoedown. I'm coming for you. Round 2 someday soon.
God help us all. Back to the desk.
And how much fun was that? Again, big shout out to both Josh Horowitz and Paul Walter Hauser. And to reminder for everybody, please check out Cruella, which is on Disney Plus today and coming out in theaters
you
today
have
as well.
Disney
So make
Plus,
sure you check that out. Support Paul
if you
Walter
live in a
Hauser and go
country
check that
that
out. I know
has
we'll be watching
Disney
that.
Plus.
Me and the daughter are very excited for
Sure,
that
why
movie
not?
today. But Mark, this today was a really big day, and we saw what Josh could do in teams, but the fact that he comes in here in singles against a guy with big personality that Paul Walter Hauser has, and then when you miss that, whenever you miss a question, you're like, you start second guessing it. He didn't let it bother him for that long. He stayed in the pocket. What he did in that Ed Harris round when he was answering questions like that, I'm like, this is like deep pull stuff that this dude is getting without multiple choice. This is a contender here.
And after watching what Paul Walter Hauser did in his second round, which was pretty impressive, he just checked a multiple choice a couple times. Then Horowitz just went straight perfect with Ed Harris, a category I thought he was thrilled about. Turns out he was iffy on it. But I go back to the veteran-like experience that these fellows showed, even though they have nothing of the sort, because missing your very first question, like what felled Hauser in question number 1 about Gremlins, you could see another rookie or even someone who's played the game before their entire world implode, didn't let it bother him. He still had that shot of whiskey in his sights, and he almost pulled it out. But if the worst thing that happens to a Schmoedown competitor is you take a close L and you get to do a fresh shot of apple cider vinegar, there's worse fates to have. And for Horowitz, I think the sky is the limit, but as high as he can fly, Paul Walter Hauser and his really cool comedian tattoo may not be far behind.
All right, guys. Also, make sure you join the patreon.com/Schmoedown. We have 3 pay-per-views a month, and you can get them all at the $10 tier. You sign up for that $10 tier and above, you get a lot of different things, the exhibitions, but the 3 pay-per-views, you get those. If not, you go to the schmoedownlive.com and you can buy the tickets there. But we have so much happening, whether you go to the FCL every Tuesday at 3 p.m. You can check that out on Twitch, or we have matches on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Thank you for joining us here today. Thank you to Mark Ellis, to Jen Sturger, Paul Walter Hauser, Josh Horowitz, Sam Levine, Coy Chandra, the whole crew at the Skybound offices, as well as PJ Campbell and the writing crew. Mark, hell of a battle.
Christian, you did a great job yourself. Don't sell Christian Harloff short. And like Christian enthused everyone to do, check out Cruella tonight. He's going to watch with his daughter. My daughter might be scared of that particular character because she's 91 years old. So maybe I'll watch it and I'll tell her how it is. But nonetheless, support these 2 gentlemen, their professional careers, as we always want you to do with our folks that we bring you here at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. You never know who's going to show up, who's going to be great. And we got 2 great ones. New to the league, perhaps, and they're going to be returning favorites here pretty soon.
All right, so for, again, Mark Ellis and the rest of the crew, thank you guys very much.
Oh, that's a bit of an abrupt way to end it, but holy crap, that was a great match. Great debut match. not for me, obviously. But it was a great match for both of these guys. Like I said, they missed one question. They were one question away from a perfect round each, and even then, Paul gave an answer, which a movie that did star two of the actors that were asked in the question. Horowitz gave the name of an actor who was in that movie. So yeah, they were very close, and I'm very happy I finally got to see it. You know, technical difficulties aside, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. This was a great debut match for both of them, and it's great to see more and more people from just all walks of life enter the Schmoedown. It's great to see more and more celebrities enter the Schmoedown, more and more actors, and more famous journalists entering this space. It makes me so happy to be a fan of the Schmoedown and everything that the Schmoedown represents. So yeah, I've had a ton of fun with this match, but now I gotta go back to sleep. So I'll see you guys on when the next crop of matches will show up, which I believe is tomorrow. So I barely got any chance to rest. But then again, there is no rest in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. So I'll see you guys on the next matches. Goodbye for now. Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.